Are you a veteran? Have you served in the military? Are you a licensed counselor? Are you interested in working with that group of individuals? Well, I'm here to help. I am William McLemore, a licensed professional counselor associate in the state of Texas and a U.S. Army veteran. And I'm here to talk today about mental health, specifically veteran mental health and the things that we go through. To my fellow battle brothers and sisters out there, hey, I'm here to work with you guys to help you work through what you guys got going on. But I'm here to educate more than anything else, to do the job that the Veterans Administration and the Department of Defense didn't do while we were in training. They didn't teach us about mental health. I'm also here to educate civilian therapists and help them understand the military culture, what we've gone through, the things we've gone through, and help them understand not just the language we use and the dark humor, because I mean that's a coping mechanism, but also how to work with us and what to expect. And I mean, let's just put it this way. I'll just start off with, why do veterans avoid therapy? Counseling, therapy, mental health help at all. More often than not, we avoid it even though we know we need it. Because when we were active duty, when we were soldiering or sailoring, air forcing, marining, whatever, space forcing, yay. I don't even know what they got to deal with the whole probings and aliens, but that's another topic. Um, Basically put, we were trained to not seek it. It's there. There are mental health providers within the military, but we are actively discouraged from going, partially because we're going to lose the respect of our colleagues. We're going to be told that we're bird dogging, we're blue falcons, we're not tough enough. Suck it up and drive on. Embrace the suck. It's what we're told. Our chain of command will tell us, hey, keep it in unit. Come to us if you got a problem. Don't take it outside. Don't tell anybody what's going on with you. And this creates an atmosphere and a culture within the military environment in which veterans and active duty soldiers, because as an Army, I refer to everyone as a soldier, sorry. I've got a lot of friends that are Marines, some in the Air Force, some in the Navy. And I've worked with hundreds of veterans at this point in my private practice. Yeah, we were actively discouraged from looking for mental health. Now, it creates a problem when we get out because from your average therapist is like, well, why don't more veterans come to us? The answer is we were trained to avoid you guys. We were actively trained and discouraged from seeking mental health because it wasn't some tangible physical thing that you go to a doctor for. We were actively told, if you do this, you're a blue falcon. If you do this, you're hurting the unit. And for your average veteran, going to mental health, seeking mental health counseling, basically put a target on your back, and made you feel like, hey, I'm a dirtbag. I can't, I'm going to hurt my unit. I'm going to hurt my deployability. I'm going to hurt my promotability. I'm going to get labeled by all the people in my unit. I'm going to lose respect. My chain of command, my top, first sergeant, top for those who are in the civilian sector is first sergeant. Or my chief, depending on what branch you were in, and yeah, I know chiefs aren't always first sergeants. They're usually E7s, E6s, staff sergeants, sergeant first classes. My platoon sergeant, my section sergeant, so forth. I'm going to lose the respect of my chain of command because I'm looking for help, and because I'm not mentally tough enough. Because it'll affect unit readiness. It'll affect my ability to be deployed, to do my job, So we actively avoid it. We actively avoid mental health help and treatment because there are so many negatives that are put upon us in the service. As a licensed counselor, I have the distinct pleasure of understanding the necessary mental health treatments to help veterans, but as a veteran, I understand why we don't seek it and how to work with us. And so that's why I'm here. Just so for you licensed counselors out there and therapists, understand veterans are trained to resist interrogation. And whether you like it or not, having come from both sides of this equation, yeah, therapy can feel a little bit like interrogation. Why? Because we dig in. We try to ruffle through the files and see what's in there and try to pull out the past traumas and help our clients work through them and process through them and find healing and find understanding. But the veterans, like, you're trying to pull information out of me. You're an interrogator. You're a foreign enemy. I'm going to resist you. And that's training. That's totally training. That's not even just who we are as a person. It's who we've been trained to be. And that's an aspect of, what we go through. As a veteran, I have worked with, like I said, I've worked with hundreds of veterans. I've worked with veterans who are dealing with issues of suicidality, of post-traumatic stress, military sexual trauma, burnout, chronic burnout. Got a couple that have breathtaking burnout. Issues with loss of identity, issues with loss of purpose, issues with, family and marriage is falling apart, which is actually very common in the military. Um, and so I'm here to help. That's what I'm here to do. But I'm also here to educate. I'm here to educate my fellow brothers and sisters in arms and my colleagues in the mental health field to to understand the to understand veterans and how to work with them, and as veterans to understand what you're going through, to understand that one, you have been trained, but you're also going through some things that are unique to the military that you're not going to find anywhere else in any other field. And sometimes that little bit of trauma you're dealing with can open up all kinds of other things. And yeah, that's why I do it. Now, what got me into this? Because obviously, first video, what got me into this? So one of my best friend's father is a Vietnam vet, and his best friend, he was a combat medic in the Army. His best friend got blown up by a landmine in front of him, couldn't save him. Spent his entire life, married, had a bunch of kids, stayed married, retired from his job, and didn't start processing any of his military-based traumas and stresses until he was in his mid-60s, and only when he started going to VFWs and talking to other veterans, because talking to veterans can be very cathartic. And for you guys in the veterans field, cathartic means very stress relieving, feels very good. Just kind of let it out. Therapists understood what I said when I said that, but he didn't find healing until he was in his mid-60s, and I said to myself, that's wrong. As somebody who joined in 2000, had a tour in Iraq in 2005, got out in 2006, and I convoyed. I've dealt with incoming mortars, incoming RPGs, small arms fire, and I worked on Apache helicopters, Alpha models. 68 X-ray 10, then they changed to 15 X-ray 10, had something to do with the FARPs, forward ammunition reload points. But I can tell you that, yeah, it was watching my fellow brothers and sisters of arms go through traumas and go through mental health issues, and they were told, go see the chaplain. I love chaplains. I have all the respect in the world for my chaplains, but they are woefully ill-equipped to handle mental health traumas. Or we all turn to alcohol because it's the other coping mechanism in the military. And it's one of the primary reasons why, as a therapist and as a military veteran, you're going to find a lot of veterans that turn to, alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, other stronger illegal drugs, or they turn to God, or Allah, or Yahweh, whichever. They turn to faith, and that's how they cope. But they never deal with their problems directly, because we are taught to avoid. We're literally taught we don't have time to deal with the problems. So that's what I'm here for. Now, like I said, I noticed that veterans can talk to veterans without a problem. I've worked with people. I've worked with veterans as far back as the Vietnam era. I've worked with veterans that literally ETS'd 2 months ago, and I'm still working with them right now. And I have seen and experienced numerous problems or numerous mental health issues that nobody talks about, that nobody expresses. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to educate my brothers and sisters in arms, educate you guys on your various mental health problems, and tell you you're not alone. These are very common, but also to explain to the clinical side of this, the therapeutic side of it, the civilian therapists who Lord knows they do their best. Lord knows they've got their heart in the right place, but they just don't understand us. And that's very off-putting for us, very off-putting, because we're coming for help, and you're acting like you understand every little thing about me, and you don't. So bear that in mind. Going forward, ultimately I plan to make a video once a week, maybe once every other week, depending on my availability and how many clients I'm seeing a week. On average, 25 to 30 is the number of veterans I work with every week. And yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to educate, and I'm here to promote, I'm here to push forward, because we as veterans, we served, and we're government property. It's the name of the channel. I am government property. You guys are government property. You know, get an Article 15 for that tattoo, for that, that sunburn that made it a little bit hard for you to work. What are you written up for? Not for a tattoo, but for damaging government property. So, going forward, I'm here to help. I'm here to be of assistance. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you're seeing, if I have somehow given you just the slightest bit of hope, or if I've given you some or if I've educated you even slightly, then by all means, hit a like and subscribe. If you're a therapist and you're trying to learn more, like and subscribe. If you're just some random person, you're just like, hey, this seems funny or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm doing this to give back to my fellow brothers and sisters in arms, to help them live the life that they served for, to be able to enjoy it and to be able to process through the traumas that they're living with. Because at the end of the day, not all veterans, not all wounded warriors are missing a limb. And all of us, all of the veteran community, knows someone who came home and isn't here anymore because their mental health got the better of them. If you know somebody, talk to them. And if not, send them my way. Or if not my way, now this is for my therapist, this is for my therapist colleagues all throughout the entire country. If you're a licensed professional counselor in any other state, and you're a military veteran, and you want to collaborate on helping other veterans, hit me up in the DMs, hit me up in the email. I want to work with everyone that I can to help this community, to help my community get better, because we deserve it. We fought hard, and we're dealing with stuff, but we can work through it. So, I am government property, and I will see you next time.